Yeah, that's wonderful. I mean, a third of the U.S. population have trouble sleeping. That's a really tough fact, and I see that, of course, in my practice all the time, and is extraordinarily difficult sometimes, to get people to sleep well. So, what are some of these ingredients that you've found that have been really helpful for people?
Well, some of the things that we have put in there, of course, a lot of people use melatonin and all of that, and we put some of that in theirs. But what we have found is that if we have GABA and ionic minerals and some of the other things that we have found that were patent in the research, that your body needs to go into a deep sleep in order to produce something called a human growth hormone. And the human growth hormone is probably one of the most powerful things that come from sleep, because it's the hormone that we lose as we age, but it's one of the most powerful hormones to allow our bodies to repair quickly. So when we're young, we have a lot of the human growth hormone in our bodies. And as we turn in our 20s and 30s, we lose almost up to 50%. Then we go into our 50s and then we lose another 20%. So by the time we reach after 50, we're very much dealing with 10 to 20% of the human growth hormone. And that's why I think it's important for people to recognize that they need to pay attention. The other thing that I do, other than ingredients, is the fact that I share with people that it's very important that before you go to bed, you try to eat at least 2 to 3 hours before you go to bed, because your body needs to get into a more restful place instead of trying to use all that energy to digest the food. And what we were finding is that most Americans, they work all day. Many times they forget to eat lunch, and then they get home all exhausted, so they don't have time to cook. So they stop by the fast food, or they order the pizza, or they order Chinese, and they order all this food that may or may not be the healthiest for them. So most people, unfortunately, do not have a restful night. The second thing that I recommend is that you do meditation if you can before you go to bed instead of watching TV. We know that already the rays from the television stimulate our brain to the point that it gets us to too much alertness, and we don't have the ability to sleep. And as you know, you and I use BrainTap, which is one of the greatest technologies I have found, that instead of just doing a basic meditation, they have devised a goggle that has the sound and the frequencies, but they also has LED lights that actually rest your brain and allows you to have even a deeper sleep than if you don't use it. And it's been one of my greatest things that I've had for the last year, and one that I love. So do meditation. For some people, if they have faith, we have found that in the research, prayer just works just as well with meditation. So if you rather just pray before you go to bed, regardless of your religion, we have found that that can also calm your brain to the point that is very soothing, just like a meditation does. So those are the things that I recommend individuals to do, and they work extremely well.